It's going to be a very Ood episode because we will be reviewing Planet of the Ood. This is with the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, and we have Donna Noble again, with being played by Catherine Tate. But before we begin, we've always got to give you the warning. Sophie, let them know what's going to be happening.
Spoilers! This is Sophie Aldred with The Legend of the Travelling Tardis.
Hello, and welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, fellow Whovians. I'm your host, Paparazzo Dave Chapman. How y'all doing? It's our foodie episode. Totally about food, right? That's what we're doing tonight. Planet of the Food? No, sorry, I'm getting a message in the private chat. No, Ood, not food. Oh, we're doing the Planet of the Ood today, the David Tennant episode. I'm sorry, I always mix that up because they look like calamari. What can I say? We got a great episode for you. We are reviewing Planet of the Ood. Great David Tennant episode. We've had a ton of fun, so let's bring in our wonderful team, starting with our showrunner, our producer, our very own Christian Basil.
Hey guys, welcome again to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Yeah, in the background I was actually trying to pull up the banner because for some reason we didn't have the banner up, so there you go, Dave. Yes, tonight we will be reviewing Planet of the Ood, starring David Tennant as the 10th Doctor and Catherine Tate as Donna Noble, with our friends the Ood back, since the last time I think we saw them was in The Beast Below and The Impossible Planet. So they're going to make a return, and we are returning with their planet out there. Plus, Dave, I want to give a big shout out and thank you for those of you who were watching, what is it, the 25th of August this past weekend, the 21st and 22nd. We were at Epicverse Comic Con, and we want to thank Willie and all the team out there, Richard, Irving, and everybody, and everyone at that group. They were very kind. They were very sweet. They assigned me one table, Dave, and then all of a sudden goes, "Do you need two tables?" And I'm like, that won't be a problem. I got what I needed. So, and we sold a lot of coffee. We have a new sponsor, and let me go ahead and bring her up. Unfortunately, you can't see her, but we'll be giving you more information. This was her first trial run. If you can see the cookies in the middle, that is Athena Finger. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with Athena Finger, you probably known her grandfather, who is Bill Finger, who is the co-creator of Batman. And she is the daughter and heiress of the Batman whatever thingy there. And now she makes confectionery. She makes cookies. And I think she'll be making a lot more. And this was her opening day on our table at Epicverse Comic-Con. And it did phenomenally well. Practically almost sold out every cookie, and they're very delicious there. Also, we do have Coffee Shop at Horrors and the Kitchen Killers barbecue sauce out there. So for those of you who joined us and subscribed with us, thank you. And thank you, Epicverse, for being very, very hospitable about everything out there this past weekend. We really had a good time.
I noticed they had very good expectations of us. They knew our table would be absolutely on fire, which is why they put us next to the fire extinguisher.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's the best thing. And by the way, down that hall is the bathrooms. So I had the perfect spot out there. And one of the other things I want to make sure I got out there, the folks over at the Gotham Underground, they've always been touring with us over at the conventions. They were there, lovely bunch. If you ever get a chance, check them out on their Instagram and their Facebook page, the Gotham Underground. Love the big bird. So that was our weekend this past weekend. So
There we go.
had a great time.
Next up, let's jump to the other side of the pond with the Candyman. Hey, Mark.
Hey guys, how you going? It's another beautiful night in the UK, and I'm looking forward to this episode because I think it touched on some nice subjects.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Excellent.
I'm wearing the classic
Well, let me see that.
knock.
Knock. Who's there? Doctor Who. Exactly.
Sorry, had to be
Beautiful,
classic.
sir. That is beautiful.
So who else we got, Dave?
Yeah.
We've got Robert in the comments saying food and Doctor Who goes together.
Yeah,
It's true.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, they look like calamari. The Ood look like calamari. It's the planet of the food.
And Robert, I saw the video you sent me on my personal Facebook page. Thank you. That's a real. I'm going to be sending that to people. I hope you don't mind, but it's we'll be talking about a legend who just recently passed away. We will be talking to her about in the Hoodoo News. But Robert sent me a video of her, and it was. I wish I could play it, but I don't know about the copyrights or anything. But a certain country singer who, if you're watching live on August the 25th, has just passed away recently. And there, Robert was kind enough to send me a video of her. And I'll send it to you guys. But it's pure Dolly. I mean, you'll see it, and it's why everybody loves Dolly Parton. Not just her singing, but her personality, her character as well, and it's her humanitarianism. So I'll send you guys the video as soon as I get a chance. So thank you, Robert, for sending that. That did make my day, actually.
And yeah, speaking of food and calamari, we've got Melanie.
Wow.
It's a Christian level of segue for this one.
I'm rubbing off on Dave.
Damn, that was some kind of segue. Not 2 out of 10 stars, I guess. Anyway, hi everybody. Can't wait to be talking about, Planet of the Ood. I always love being able to go back and, review episodes we never really had a chance to do before. And honestly, it's my favorite Doctor companion combo, Dr. Ten and Donna. So yeah, let's go.
For Dr. Donna.
I like
Dr. Donna.
Dr. Donna.
Dr. Donna.
Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna have a great time. That's our team -1. So why don't we start up with the Who Knew News and bring in Gadget?
Got it. Gadget, we see ya.
Hey guys, recovering from Anime NYC, and will be talked about soon, but like Christian said, we have a very important passing to talk about because this woman has touched so many lives. Most of our viewers, if they're of that generation, know her as Miley Cyrus's Hannah Montana as her Mima grandmother. From Hannah Montana, the series. Most of us who grew up remember her from 9 to 5. And a lot of people remember her for her singing and philanthropy. That is our wonderful. And she was fighting Dolly Parton. It was too sad. It's breaking the hearts of everyone. One of my friends has broke down and cried because that was her mentor, her idol. And it's a lot to take in and stuff. And I mean, I started watching her with 9 to 5 and Steel Magnolias. And then when I found out that she originally had sung the Whitney Houston song that Whitney Houston had covered from The Bodyguard, and there was a lot of everything and stuff. She is well known, and was working on something that would make her legacy even last longer as an avatar. And she's going to keep the family's going to keep Dollywood open and everything. But right now I'm tongue tied because there's so much she has done in her journeys and everything. And you can't just have it all in one little segment. You would have to have a whole segment for her because she was the queen. She was everything. And right now the people are mourning because she had just been telling everybody she's fine, she's taking care of her health and everything, but you never know what's going to happen that next day and stuff. You know, her first debut was Hello, I'm Dolly and everything. And her last one was Rockstar. So, you know, haven't got another angel, you know, and stuff. But at least she'll live on for everybody. Anybody have any memories of her?
Melanie, I know this is weirdly cited, but Melanie, did you ever go to Dixie Stampede when it was here in Orlando?
Yes.
It was good.
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I've never gotten a chance to go to Dollywood, but I did go to the Country Music Hall of Fame, and she's in Nashville, and she is rightfully all over there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I thought when I was perusing her Facebook page to see what she had posted beforehand, did she build a museum?
Yes.
Yes.
She's in the process of or is the museum done?
They're making a legacy museum for her and everything.
Oh, wow.
All her stuff and everything. The Rock Hall of let's see, Dolly's Music Hall of Fame. I'm reading one of the comments right now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's sad. It's just too sad.
Well, it goes from a museum to a memorial. That was just a really weird
Yeah.
take. But yeah, she's building. I saw that and I was just like, wow. So this is
Well,
She did a lot.
For
She
me,
did a
the biggest
lot.
thing was the Imagination Library.
That one, yeah, I was just about to say it. Yeah.
Sending books to free, mailing free, age appropriate, books to kids monthly.
Under age 5, yeah. It was, yeah. She was a trailblazer for anybody because her dad couldn't read, and she saw the struggles he went through and everything, so she did not want anybody else to be like that.
Yeah, I've seen her quite a few movies. 9 to 5. I don't know if I can say it on the show, but Best Little House in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in quite a few movies, but I know friends that were breaking down and crying when she passed, because she was a big deal for people throughout the generations. You know what? Candyman, how big is Dolly in the UK? How much?
Yeah,
how
she's very big, very country. I was watching an interview with her where she went to do a Dolly Parton impression, and she didn't win. So they got this Dolly Parton, but didn't realise it was Dolly Parton, and she entered in as a Dolly Parton impressionist.
And she got third place or something like
that. She got
that.
Third place or something like that.
Yeah.
She didn't win. And I thought, and she was just cracking up with laughing, like no one knew, like the judges didn't even realise that she was the real Dolly Parton. But yeah, she's very, very big over here. Like you said, Gadget 9 to 5 is a big song over here as well. So,
and the movie, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Like when she grabbed him and all the other, like her attitude, like she's a sweet person until someone pushes her,
Yeah.
And that's how she was. She was a firecracker in life and all.
Yeah, like I said, I reckon she's probably internationally famed.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Dave,
just US.
Is she big in Canada? Do people? I'm sure they know her, but is she big in Canada?
Oh yeah, same as in the US as far as that goes.
Okay.
I'm seeing lots of posts about her from my own
tons of
Canadian
posts.
friends, just as much as the American friends.
Our good friend Michelle, one of our fellow panelists, Michelle Hamilton, she wrote into our private chat and just said, "By the way, Dolly Parton's gone." And first thing I'm like, "Where did she go? Did somebody lose her?" And she was like, "No."
That was the funniest thing, because Entertainment Tonight had just did a retrospect on her, and she was telling everybody she's fine, she's whatever. She had to cancel a few concerts and stuff like that because she's focusing on her health. And then a couple of days later, we see this.
Yeah.
Too sad.
Well, rest in peace, Dolly. Thank you for everything that you've done throughout life. 80 years, long time on the planet, but I still think taken from us too soon. I think she should have hit the big 100.
Oh, this is definitely her energy. She'd have been 100.
Yeah. And
then we have other sad news. Like if you are a fan of Sarah Jane Adventures, and basically trying to get the other image, like I'm just like still shocked from this and everything. If you know of, and I got to say her name right, Philalida Lord, because my L's are bad and everything. But she has passed away on July 27th. She was noted for appearances in Dixon on the Docks, Green, Rumple of the Bailey Kingdom, and Foyley's War. But most of us know her from being as B. Nelson Stanley in the Sarah Jane Adventure stories, Eye of the Gorgon, and as Belladonna in the audio drama for Doctor Who, The Bride of Helladonna. God, there's too many syllables and everything. But basically, she's one of those actresses that graced our screen young, and basically sad to see her go. But it's one of those where it's everything. But she is, believe it or not, her children are Emma Thompson and Sophia Thompson. So all prayers go to them as everything. And very good lady. I loved her in Sarah Jane Adventure. She was funny as anything. And may she rest in peace with even Dolly. Let Dolly, let her wait there at the door for Dolly, But this breaks my heart more and everything because it's up there with Dolly. Nev Fountain, you guys know he's one of our favorites and everything. Nicola just lost her mom, and it's sad and everything and stuff. She announced that her mother Sheila had passed away at the age of 95, and it was a peaceful passing, as well as she's now returning to 38 years apart from her Brian, Nicola's father. They buried them side by side, and all they're asking is like prayers and well wishes and stuff. But everybody's at peace right now and stuff. But 95 is a good year. It's good. I give it. But the same thing. She should. The way I'm looking at her energy too, she should have been 100 as well. But you never know when your last days are here and stuff. But we all give our prayers and well wishes to Nev and Nicola right now this time.
And I slightly forgot, we go back to Dolly just a little bit. Her production company produced Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That is very true. The movie and the TV show.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dolly, for giving me nightmares.
Because we also have a tie-in now if you want to tie it in this way, but I'll go backwards on the birthdays because that was the best tie-in right there, because our James Marston, who played Spike on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, as well as Angel, is celebrating his birthday, 64 years young. And I met him at New York Comic Con years before I was on the Traveling TARDIS. Really cool guy and stuff. He cracks you up all the time and everything. That's why I was so happy that he did pose with the TARDIS, because it was just too funny of the coincidence, like, and everything. But I was hoping to see him back as Spike, but due to the production and everything, let's see what happens. Maybe they'll get a second chance to try to bring it back. But happy birthday, and 64 years young, our own James Marston, who's also been in Torchwood as well. Where you see him.
Sorry, Gadget. Hasn't James also been like Buffy, Smallville, Supernatural,
Chance, Once More with a Feeling? He's been a lot. The Runaways.
It's like all the top shows he's been in.
He's got that gift. He's got that knack and everything and stuff. And then we boldly go where no one has ever, but in the next generation, we have Jonathan Frakes, who turns, I still cannot believe this. I know we report on him every year, but this man does not age. He ages gracefully and stuff. And everyone knows his wife, Jeannie, from the soaps and everything with Laura and everything and stuff, all that. But everyone remembers him from Star Trek Next Generation, all the spinoffs and everything. And now his podcast. And it's just, I cannot believe he just ages gracefully. I mean, he's up there with Patrick Stewart. Like, they don't age. And everything.
He's 80 now, right?
Patrick?
No.
74.
74, okay.
74. His wife is Jeannie Francis, who was on the soaps with Luke and Laura. And when Luke had, Anthony had passed away and everything. So that's like the connection I know them from and everything. But it was just too, that this guy does not age. No. He doesn't. And I think he has something coming up soon. I know that.
Just like Candyman.
We went from one vampire to another, right? But no, early work and everything he's done after Star Trek. Right now, he's basically just, I think, focused on the podcast that he created, I think, with Brent and that's mostly it we have from now that they're reviewing all the Star Trek. I'm looking to see if he has anything coming up, but there might be something because I don't know if it's aired already or not, but he was with Starfleet Academy and Stuart Fails to Save the Universe this year in 2026. So check those out and everything, as well as that. That's like the last thing of features, but mostly his podcasts. And check that out on all the channels. And then we have our lovely returning birthdays because we have the well, technically a quadruple threat, but we'll talk about that part of the quadruple later after. But we have Sophie, Sylvester, and Anthony celebrating their birthdays on August 20th. As you know, Anthony Ainsley had passed away on May 3rd, 2004, but he was our one of our original masters. And he also appeared in like The Keeper of the Taken, The Five Doctors, Assault, The Spider's Web, Land That Time Forgot. That was a good one. And also The Blood on Satan's Claw. Sorry. And also one more, the Dark Outside. So check those out for Anthony. And then with our two compadres here and everything, companion and doctor, Sylvester McCoy turned a lovely 83 years old, still cracking jokes, still making us all feel like kids again and everything.
Still hitting people with spoons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without
Yes.
a doubt.
Yes, he's still playing with
Including
his spoons.
himself.
But he like last appeared at the games. He was doing the spoof for Tardis and everything, and basically just gracing all our convention scenes as we go and stuff. And then we have Sophie, who, as happy birthday, who introduced our spoilers and stuff. She turns a young 64 years old, and she's working on her podcast. She's working on multiple other adventures in time and space and just gracing our screens and stuff. But always check out her podcast and all the conventions to check up on anything she's doing right now. Let's see if she's got anything in the works. But Candyman might know more about that and stuff. But the last thing she did was Tales of the TARDIS, and 2025 was Shroud. So basically just focusing on podcasts and our convention scenes and gracing us with her beauty. And that's it for the birthdays. But then we have something interesting. It seems that Billie Piper breaks her silence for us. And it turns out that I love the fact of this if you get the Radio Times article and stuff, she wants everybody to chill out and be patient. I love that. She was opening about her future on Doctor Who, and she told her fans, chill out and be patient, like I've been telling all of you and everything. She goes that at the For Love and Fantasy Sci-Fi Convention in London, she carries that she is not the next Doctor, before clarifying that she is Rose Tyler in hiatus. She explained, sorry that it's a cryptic answer, but it's because I am not currently filming Doctor Who as the Doctor. I can't lie and say otherwise. So take it from Billie. Just chill out, people, and everything.
So she's confirming she is not the next Doctor. She's
just
Tyler.
in hiatus. Rose Tyler in hiatus.
Okay.
It's cryptic now, however you want to take it and everything. Because you know how people are. They run with a story and they hashtag other stories into it and everything from like a year ago and all that stuff. But This is actually what she said to fans, and I like that. Chill out. Okay? That's telling people like enough. Just enjoy everything, just whatever, and stuff like that. Because I'm hoping you guys enjoy this. Because I didn't see it on the main page of Funko's official page, but it is on their news sites on X and everybody else that we are definitely getting the lineup this August. And believe it or not, I Googled it and checked it. And the ones they did list for the 2026 lineup for our Funko Pops that we're getting are the 10th Doctor and the TARDIS, the 10th Doctor with the police call box style, the 11th Doctor, the 15th Doctor, and the 9th Doctor. And if you Google them, you actually get the item number in case anything. They say there are pre-orders. That's why I went to the website to check. I even checked the UK website, and they're not there yet. So I would still watch the X page for or Twitter, depending on what generation you are. And hopefully we get to see, because they're showing River right now, and that's not on the list here. But I would just Google it, and it gives you the item number. Like the 10th Doctor with the TARDIS is item number 93113. The one with the police box is 93134, and it goes from there 35, 36, and 37. So I would keep those item numbers in like on a little piece of paper when you're ready to pre-order. But if you want to check their vault and compare it to what they had in their vault, you can. They're listing the vault right now, and it looks like they're pretty cool because I definitely want the 10th Doctor with the police box and style, like card style. It's like a chaser and everything. So let's see what happens. But check out Funko's webpage at funko.com. They do have UK page as well. But the craziest thing happened, and as you saw, Christian had his convention with Epic Verse, and thank you Verse for last week and everything. I was at Anime NYC, and I know a lot of you saw the news. It seemed the numbers are growing on the theft that was happening there. First, it was Pokemon cards and vendors that were sold for $96,000 because I was actually with Citadel when that call came in on their walkie-talkie because I'm friends with Citadel, the security team. And then a few minutes later, as we're breaking the news right now, they've upped it to 11,000 because there was a photographer who had their equipment stolen. Not only that, people I've talked to that know our channel and everything who were interested in our channel were telling me stories of other vendors being robbed, as well as their bags being pickpocketed, as well as many other things. And I have been going to this convention because I knew the owners. They were part of New York Comic Con, split from New York Comic Con, and Peter had it for a few years. He sold it. This was the new year with new owners, and I don't think it worked. I'm going to be honest with everything that I've never seen this much theft at a con that I've gone to. We've rarely heard things. They always, because they were checking our bags as we were leaving, and that was the craziest and everything. I've never had to have a cop check my bag when I was leaving.
I actually thought it was funny you should say that because when we were at our convention, it was just like I trusted Willie and the team over there to lock up everything and take care of things. And it was
Right.
We were just joking on the way out and just said, I have this blue tarp, and I'm just like, yeah, this blue tarp's going to protect me from somebody coming up in there and taking all my stuff. But I mean that's just been the norm for conventions. We just throw a piece of plastic on top of everything and hope for the best that they're locking up and nobody's going to screw with our stuff.
And it's crazy there because I even have a netting on my wagon because it's New York, and I try to keep people from when I'm coming in because that area is a lot of scalpers and like the people with the CDs and stuff that they try to people just pick out of your wagons and bags and stuff. So I have a netting that goes over. I was wondering why everybody kept saying to me, where did you get this? How do we order it? Because after what happened, everyone is taking advice and just trying to lock everything up. It's just crazy. And that's my friend's work behind me, by the way. This is Sesame Bows. She does beautiful work and everything. If you guys ever want to check her out, she's on Instagram. She actually sold out at the convention, but that's a foil printing, and she does little back charms that are wood. So it wasn't all bad and everything. It's just that a lot of things like this got missed, and a lot of the vendors weren't there. So it's just mostly they were going after the cards and any big items that they had. And I'm also thinking it was part of the new policies because they even had to pick up their badges outside in a container. They had a shipping container. That has never been part of this convention. So between people getting trolled over to there to get there, and they were saying they were getting pickpocketed there versus, I've never, this is in the 9 years, no. Mm-mm. So I'm hoping next year with their 10th anniversary is better, but the way I'm seeing it is they're promoting a K-pop one for next year. So I think they focus more on that than this, but that's one of pictures that with the TARDIS, as well as it was hard because they had the $100 photo pass. So a lot of our cosplayers were in places, and some of them actually wanted me to tip them. So these lovely ladies were nice enough to let us take the picture without being charged or anything. And we even have, if you have from JoJo's Adventure, because this is which Italia.
Wait, back it up a little bit. Cosplayers want you to tip them when you
because this is what happened. They are professionals. So if you wanted to take a picture with our that's what I'm saying. This year did not feel like a normal convention. Everybody, because of that $100 fee that they were charging to clear up the aisles and everything, all the TikTokers, all the professional cosplayers, we're all in the hallways up in the Crystal Palace and everything. Some of them I would approach. I say, "Can I take a picture with you?" They go, "Yeah, I charge, or I give you tip me." And I'm like, "What?" I've never had that in all the years
Got
I've done the TARDIS with you. I have never had that. So I stayed in the show floor praying I found somebody that was a normal person or normal people. And these were normal people. They were so sweet and kind. I think they were traveling from, because they had an accent. I don't know if it was France or from one of the areas and stuff. And they were really sweet and kind and everything. And then like the same with the JoJo people and some other people I posted, because it was rare. Everyone was so scared of that because they didn't want to get yelled at for taking pictures because they were charging. Someone got caught and they were charging. And it's not right that even though we're sort of a brand, we've been doing this for so many years. They felt it was to clear up, but there were so many people still crowding the aisles, rubbernecking, running into things because they weren't looking. They were on their cell phones. I saw more people on their cell phones than anything. But you could have called the fire marshal on how many cosplayers were in an area that they usually never are because they were trying to avoid getting caught or paying that fee. And the ones that did pay the fee are sickened because they said they don't want photography anymore there again.
Gotcha. Well, anything else in the Who Knew News?
Oh, it's giving you, like when we do our conventions, the advice is like when we get people on here for conventions, that's why when I told them about Epic Verse, they were happy when they heard the word free. Because they would have flown down there. They didn't care if the price of the plane or the train. They were like, if it's cheaper to fly down there and it's a free one and they don't have to worry about that their pictures or anything, they would have gone if they knew about it. They would have left.
Let me turn this over to the Candyman.
Yeah, please, Candyman.
Mark,
I was going to say there's one birthday you did miss.
Well, I know, but I know we were stalling. We were stalling because
no, we didn't.
Yes,
I was stalling because I wanted the temperament. You want to distract, deflect, and then throw it up there.
I'm just going to go straight in.
I know. Just go.
Right. Okay. So someone shares the same birthday as Sophie and Sylvester McCoy
and Anthony and yeah, everybody that we just mentioned.
And that is our lovely, amazing host. I can't say much about him. He's my brother from the States. It is Christian. Happy birthday, my friend.
Yep. Happy birthday, big brother.
Thank you, guys. You're older. And okay, we're done.
Moving on.
Moving on. Yeah. Do share.
Yeah,
that is a place to be stuck with. I'm stuck with Anthony. I'm stuck with Sylvester. I'm stuck with Sophie, and I'm stuck with James.
And if we go to a convention, we get a big cake and put all of you on it because you'll be with them.
We all have Funko Pops. And all I'm saying, Melanie, if they make a River Funko Pop, I'm going to go broke. I'm going to go completely broke.
That's one of the 9.
They didn't list it yet. They only listed so many because they don't have her number yet. But I think she might be number 40. I'm not sure.
I'm going
because
broke.
It's not on the site.
A River Funko Pop? Yeah, it's going to complete the setup here. So, alrighty.
Would Candyman want to talk about his friend because of Mrs. Campbell's convention? Is it Campbell, right?
Or when we go through the conventions, I'll have Mark do that.
All right, yeah.
So let's go ahead and put and the Who Knew News. Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
And we're back.
We're back. Commercial break, my friend?
Let's get everyone's ratings, and then we'll do commercials.
Sounds like a plan. Okay.
So let's go. We'll just bring up that so I can mark everyone down. Let's start with you, Christian, because you're right next to me.
7.3.
7.3. And Melanie?
I'm rating this one high. This is a 9. I absolutely love this episode.
All right. And Candyman?
8.57.
Lower.
And Gadget?
Well, I was debating between 8 and 8.5, but Candyman did that, so I'm going to go 8.
All right. With those ratings, if you at home put your ratings for Planet of the Ood into the comment section so we can see what you guys thought of this episode. And we will be right back after a few short messages from our sponsors.
I didn't listen to that voicemail. I'll tear open that letter you sent. Don't you tell your friends I want you back. I gotta leave you now and unread, because you've already said those words that switch my heart to dead from loving you. So you'll stay ghosted and I'll stay focused on sewing clothes.
So what's your favorite Western? Is it this one or maybe one of these? Is it a revisionist Western, an anti-Western, or maybe it's an all-time classic? Whether your favorite Western is in black and white, vibrant Technicolor, a spaghetti Western, a neo-Western, a comedy, or maybe it's only really Western in spirit. Whatever it is, this is the podcast dedicated to determining the top 100 Westerns of all time. Every second Monday on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. It's Horses on Film.
Are you tired of toxic fandoms? Do you wish we could go back to being happy? So do we. We created the Happiness Patrol to get away from all of the toxicity in fandoms, in life, and so we decided we wanted to do a show about something that makes us happy. And in our second season, that's movies that make us happy. So join myself, Cameron, Scott, Jessica, and Melanie on Happiness Patrol at youtube.com/@happinesspatrolshow.
Hi, I'm Janet Fielding and I play Tegan Javanka in Doctor Who, and this is the legend of the travelling Tardis.
This bag here, Melanie, see this bag? It's my favorite bag. I leave it here in the room. It has every sample of all the products I'm going to be selling over at Ancient City when we talk about it later. And I'm just pulling one at random, so this will be the flavor of the show. And we got some Stranger Brew going on over here. This is waffles and pancakes. Why does not... Oh, I guess it's the shine. I got to figure out how to do that, but it's...
Waffles and
Stranger
syrup.
Brew. Waffles and syrup.
So
Sorry, what
that
did I
nice
say?
baked
Waffles.
piece. You get a little bit of that mapley. It's very
Exactly.
sweet.
Did we lose
It
Christian?
I thought we lost Melanie.
No, you're freezing.
But I got a whole bag in here, and it sits in the bedroom, and yeah, it's all Stitch. So he sits in the bedroom, and I just get a great whiff every time I get that. Didn't come out right, but anyway, welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling Tardis. My name is Christian Basil. That is Dave Chapman. That is Melanie Dean. That is Gadget, and that is the Candyman. So welcome back, and we're reviewing the Planet of the Ood. Very Ood episode today. So I guess I go first because I was the smallest one.
You were
scale.
and you are.
Oh boy, birthday boy's gonna get it first. As far as one good thing and one bad thing, one good thing, I believe it or not, as far as the episode's concerned, the music, the Song of Captivity and the Song of Freedom. I love the music. This was when Murray Gold was on all cylinders, and this was one of the episodes that I really like. I just love that song. I love listening to it. I mean, Murray Gold's music back here in the first, second, and third seasons, I mean, you can't beat it. But that to me was one of the more positive ones of this episode. Not that the episode was bad. I just didn't feel about this episode. I think I'm going to get my notes over here because I want to make sure I say this accurately with what's going on.
How can you not feel for those poor Ood? You
Oh, I
heartless,
do feel for the
you
poor
heartless,
Ood.
heartless
I
man.
felt bad about the poor
I know,
Ood.
right?
But I'll explain to what I was doing. I know this is going to sound weird. I felt like this episode was a downgrade because we had the Beast Below and the Impossible Planet. And on those episodes, you felt for the humans. Even though they were kind of doing wrong by using the Ood as the slaves and everything, you still felt for the humans. In this episode, it felt like it downgraded because the humans were just caricatures. Um, and I just felt like it's one of those where I really cared about the characters in the Beast Below, and I didn't care anybody about not even the guy who was losing his hair. I'm trying to remember his name, but it I was caring about the Ood a lot. I love the music of it, and I thought I'm trying to say this right. I don't want to say it in a negative way, but I want to explain it. Um, I think. Sorry, I'm trying to get this right. I think he leaned too hard on the slavery allegory, and I'll explain why. The resolution of the whole episode was basically the Ood sang a song and everything was better all of a sudden. And I was like, it feel like a chintzy episode. It just felt bad. I mean, it had so much potential for me to enjoy it, but I think the execution, there could have been better ways. And I'm, like I said, we came from Beast Below and then we're coming to this episode. I felt like there should have been a human faction that was helping the Ood throughout the episode, and that the Ood and the faction were conspiring together to free the Ood, and the Ood was leading this human faction to help them out. Then it would have explained at the end why the rockets were coming back with the Ood, because the human faction contacted the other humans and said, nope, you're going to send them back. And I think there would have been a very Underground Railroad dynamic, which would have expounded on that. I think. Does that make sense to anybody, or is that kind of kicking in a little?
A little bit.
Little bit.
I know where you're going with it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's not a bad episode. It just felt like it shortchanged itself. I think it had a lot of potential. It could have gone on to a second episode if it tried. But there were a lot of positive things out here, especially with Donna and in this particular scene. Donna hearing what's going on in the doctor's head. She's now kind of discovering. She's had a few adventures with him, but now she's really taking on the pressure of the doctor, where she is now listening to the music of the Ood and it's making her cry, and she's loaded in tears because it's painful. And then she realizes, wait, this song's still going through your head. I couldn't even take 2 minutes of it. I thought that was a very powerful scene. And I mean, there were some scenes, and I get it, it's Doctor Who, it kind of gets hokey, but I think there was a deep message in here, just like The Beast Below, and it kind of got lost in the villain's characterization, that I didn't know what it wanted to be at times. Did you want to be serious? Did you want to have a little comedy? Which is fine, but I think it didn't do itself its justice with all the characterizations of the people that are quote-unquote villainy. And when it finally ended and the Ood are all singing, and it's like, oh, the rockets are coming back. I'm like, how? At one point, Donna couldn't even hear the music. So how is the human race hearing this? And how are they sending all the rockets back? So I know that's probably even technical, but I think it was just that this story had so much going for it. It could have been a lot better. It could have been one of those top 10 episodes. It's not an episode I would gateway anybody into as far as Doctor Who's concerned, but it's not a bad episode. It's not one of my favorites. That's all.
All right. Great comment from Toko. What about the claw? I'm like, I'm just trying to reply to her on YouTube. I'd love to catch David Tennant in a claw machine.
I think I sent the picture of the claw. I think I sent that one.
Yeah.
There are a lot of pictures being sent, but not all of them made it. Like 10 made it.
Oh no, because I had
I
the picture of the
think-
claw. I had the picture of
Yeah, we got lots of all the pictures. That's okay.
Mhm.
No, that makes sense, Christian. That makes sense. You got, let's see who's next. Gadget, you gave it an 8. That's the
Yeah.
second lowest. That's an impressive thing when an 8's the second lowest.
Well, it's okay. You said one good, one bad, right? And everything. And
Yes.
well, it is a good episode. I will say that because it's the prequel to the other 2 episodes. Because I was catching on to some of the terminology and stuff because I'm thinking this is before. Because they already took those people into space and everything and stuff. So I'm thinking the good part about it is we're finding out that this is how that they became the indentured servants to basically the shipping companies and all the people around and stuff. And the bad thing is that I felt it went too slow because it could have been a little more pacier, especially when I could see they're holding back the comedy with and the seriousness with Donna and the doctor, because this could have been a very serious, a very comedic one at the same time because of some of the parts of the episode. But like I said, I felt the pacing was just for me too slow, or it wasn't focusing on like what it was. I was more happy with the Ood getting revenge and everything after seeing what they did to the main guy and stuff. Spoilers. But it is heartbreaking when certain people view others as different classifications or higher or lower than them because either they don't know the history or they feel that we can command anything based on what we perceive, and they turn the tables on the same way, but it was different in the other one. So like I consider it's more like the prequel because back then with Rose, he didn't know about this. Now he knows about it. Now he's thinking, wait, this is what happened. This matches. Especially when you see the stuff on the garbage cans and all the other stuff that matches to that as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm not spoiling what we see because that was just crazy, like with everything, because that was too sad.
Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Makes sense. And let's see who's next here. Mark, you gave it slightly higher at 8.57.
Yeah, 8.57. I think that the storyline, even like when it's like, was it 4126 was the date they landed?
I think you're right. I think
Yeah.
And we still using slavery. And I just think that's really, it was just showing like the concept of how people who got money will use anything as a trade, which I think is wrong. And I just think that that's the storyline. And I think you're right, Christian. They should have done like a bit of more of a backstory on the people's friends of Yude, which was a little bit thing. But unlike what you were saying about the humans being caricatures, I think that was the whole purpose of this episode. That we didn't care about the humans, and we didn't care about middle management, and we was basically rooting for the Ood to win, basically because they're being oppressed, which is very, very much a British thing. We're always rooting for the underdog to win. So on that whole of it, I think it was a really good episode. I loved what they did. Bad bits, some of the special effects a bit dated. It was supposed to be snowing, but I can never see their breath. I don't know why. It was snowing everywhere when we were outside, but when I was talking, there was no cold breath.
Good point.
That's probably the bad thing. And on the whole, I think it was a very, very good episode. I think it's a recommended one. Does it stand up to the rest of the season? No, there are better episodes. But on a whole, as a single episode, it's a solid 8.57.
Which is not a solid number.
I never do solid numbers.
I know.
This was a more solid number than Candyman usually gives. Let's be honest.
It went down to 2 decimal places. That's pretty solid for me.
He's always had the repeat 8.77777. He's always having that. So
yeah,
it's refreshing.
Yeah. And then at a 9, nearly perfect. Melanie, what worked? What didn't work? What kept us from being a 10 for you?
Okay, so no, I mean, respectfully, the graphics, they never gonna ever age well in Doctor Who. So I'm not gonna say that they did not work for me or rewatching again. Um, that didn't bring it down. I actually kind of enjoy when they actually aren't in England, that they're not on Earth, they're on a different planet. I absolutely adore when Doctor Who does that. I liked that a few times, well, quite a few times. They showed exteriors, but in using CG to show off that they were on a completely different planet. Be it when they first get out there and they see the snowscape, they see the rocket ship. They do a lot of establishing exteriors, like even when was it Halpern is walking to the building for the very first time, people who are in that's a Ferrari, you've got a box, that spaceship. I absolutely adore whenever we get an episode that's the 10th Doctor and Donna and them kind of just poking at each other and learning. And I really like the chemistry between these two and how the characters kind of investigate and push each other to think of the right questions to keep going. Another big thing that really ranks this one up is I like that they really showcase that one of Donna's core fundamentals is her fierce sense of compassion, and that yes, she is this pushy, big, big energy. Just Donna can be abrasive. Donna can be, but she also is honestly one of the most compassionate characters that can balance that abrasiveness out. Where there's a kindness to her, where if she has to course correct on something, like in the beginning, like in this photo, how he goes, it's a him, not an it. She's like, okay, him, but that doesn't change her compassion much, it doesn't minimize it, because even then there's just the little parts of like her stroking the head after the red eye light had happened and kind of gave them the spook, and that he was dead. You could still see the compassion of, okay, and do we bury him? What do we do? And that was just from the get-go in the beginning. Yeah, I really do. I really enjoy this episode. I'm good that the writer decided to go back and look at the first 2 times, the back to back with the Beast below, and all that, with the Doctor, back in the time with Rose, and show off his shortcomings of you kind of you knew about this enslaved race, even though you're like, oh, their life's ambition is just to serve humans. I'm like, and that was back then. And then being able to come back, they revisited this, a little later with a new companion to take a look and say, hey, this is a problem, fix it. I appreciate the Doctor Who did that they kind of not in a retcon way, but hey, when you travel through space and time, you're going to have shortcomings. You're going to have consequences to your actions. And Doctor Who does have a tendency of kind of going back and going, hey, here's a string we could play with. Here's a loose end we never really tied up. And maybe it was not all sunshine and rainbows. So yeah, no, I honestly, I adore this episode. I really truly do. So 9 out of 10 stars.
I was going to say, Melanie, I'm gonna bring up the that picture again. And you see it throughout the last 2 episodes as well, especially in the Fires of Pompeii, where she comes out. She is a big ball of energy, but it's not contained, and he has to be the one that kind of like, no, he's kind of, I don't want to say the reality, I guess, for a better term, but trying to steer her like she was over there and the he thing, and
They
just
temper one another.
they exactly. That's why we love those two so much, because they do bounce off each other, and the Doctor is a reminder uh to Donna, there is this kind of space reality, I guess, for when things are at, and her compassion overrides, and I guess for better term, her sensibility,
A
and
little bit, yeah.
he
agree.
kind of balances her out and says, no, 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 don't do that, don't grab that. But
Mhm.
every once in a while, like you said, she petted his head. That we see that compassion from them. That's what made the dynamic of those two great, I believe. But that's just me.
And I like that she also can read people very quickly. How she
Yes.
kind of like sussed out how some of the which members of the when they first meet the other humans on there and that are in power,
Yeah.
how quickly she's like, I don't like you, I don't like you, I don't like you. She just I mean, like this
I
side eye,
thought
like,
she-
yeah.
I
No.
always thought she was a little bit empathetic, like she has empathy and all, like because she from day one, she even with him, like oi and everything, like, you know,
Well, she's
she's
always
good at that.
looking out for the little guy.
Hmm.
When she's walking into the room, she's looking for the guy, who's maybe serving the tables, and he's not having a good day, and she'll go walking to him first. In my
Yep.
opinion, she avoids
Mhm.
like the guys over here, and yeah. And I think it was the scene where she even scolded the guy, saying like, because they have to be nice because their brains are in their hand, dip.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that kind of dynamic, I think, is really good with her.
Yeah, like I said, Don Labour always supports the underdog.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
think that is a classic British trait, that we like the underdogs. And so if we see someone who's trying to lord it up over someone else, we will try to take them down a peg or two. And I think Donna captures that quite thing while looking out for herself. I do find Donna does have a good black and white moral standard, and sometimes the Doctor basically sort of crumbles that black and white standard with Donna, especially when, like you said early on, Christian, when she's hearing music, she wants to hear it, she wants to know what it sounds like.
Right.
But as soon as she hears it, it's like, oh, take it away from me, I can't handle it. And once he does, it goes, you can still hear it. And like the reality sets in that
Mm-hmm.
life out in space is not black and white. There are some grey bits, and I think that's why I think the Donna and the Doctor work so well, because it's like different. Like when we look at Rose is more like she's entertaining by this. This is all exciting. This is all like like new, like trying to do that. Martha was more like bit of like strategic. It was like a bit about health, but Donna's like is trying to create this dynamic between like, okay, this is what my views are, this is what the Doctor's views are. I think you might be wrong. Come on, like in the fires from Pompeii, when she would basically take the moral standard, you need to save at least someone.
Mhm.
And the Doctor was going, no, and we're like, and then in the end,
Yep.
the Doctor could be, and I think that's where her moral stand for, even though it's black and white sometimes, can push the Doctor to do the right thing, even though the Doctor will try to break down that black and whiteness. Does that make sense?
She challenges him.
Yeah, but I think he also challenged her,
Yes.
her as well.
Definitely.
So I
I
think
mean,
it's like both ways.
I mean, at some point, Donna, after she heard the song, was after everything that she knew, she didn't know the concept of the universe,
Hmm.
and he's seen galaxies come and go. He's seen genocide of races and stuff, and he has the burden of all that. Where she being just being human, she can't understand that. She knows the concept of compassion, and it drives her for whatever she's doing. But the Doctor kind of goes, there's certain times when you need to cut that out.
So
And
I
when
want to
they,
ask Christian about one thing. When she
Sure.
heard the song, if she's that empathetic, it could have overloaded her system because she's feeling their pain.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part, because when I heard them say, "Oh, it's Doctor and Donna," I went, spoilers and everything, because she'll be knowing the doctor's pain eventually and stuff.
Well, spoilers, yeah.
Yeah.
She becomes them.
And I'm wondering if by him doing that triggered that and started, because she starts to mellow out after this episode, and it was just a sad one,
Yeah, well, the dynamic that I like about these two is that Donna does kind of razz the doctor a lot, but at some point she knows when to cut it. She knows when he goes full on Time Lord Victorious, she steps back and goes like, okay, he needs to do his thing. And the development of those two characters, you get to see where Donna starts appreciating the doctor even more as far as his world. She's beginning to accept what's going on. And the doctor is influencing her to go, there's more than just, not to say there's more than the compassion of what you got. You've got to look at the bigger picture, which he does all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting that they almost switched roles from the Fires of Pompeii. In this one, it was very much the doctor. Donna wanted to go home at one point, right? She's like, I can't handle this. I'm done. I can't do this. Right. And the doctor's like, no, we got to do this. Mm-hmm. Which is the opposite of Fires of Pompeii, where the doctor's like, I can't do anything. I'm not going to do anything about this. And she's like, no, we have to do something about this. So it's really interesting that they reversed those roles in this one.
That's true.
It's one of the things I really like Donna more in this episode than I usually do, because I'm not a big Donna fan. I'm really not. She just gets on my nerves, and I fully understand that is the point of her character. She is meant to be a somewhat grating character. Mm-hmm. And I acknowledge and I respect that. I don't hate on her at all, but I don't love her normally. Whereas in this one, she seems so much more full stop. Like you could see her, like I just said, getting overloaded with
since you're doing your review, let's go for it.
Yeah, there we go.
Right? You're here. Yeah. You're in the room. Let's do it.
I'm in the room. Mm-hmm. Let's do the thing. Yeah, like she got overloaded. She wanted to leave, but once she, the doctor said, no, we have to stay. She's like, okay. And she recognizes the injustice, and to put it nicely, injustice in this situation. She recognizes that this isn't, one-sided capitalism, minimum wage workers being kept in poverty. This is straight up slavery. She recognizes that and knows that this needs to be dealt with, but it's so hard for her to do that. And I really appreciated that about this episode. And like you, Christian, I liked that the humans were almost irredeemable, because there's so many humans that aren't. These are people that would do this. There are people in the world right now, in the real world, who would 100% act this way and do as much as they're able to. But I'm glad that they kind of got their comeuppance and everything in this. It was really weird that they transformed the CEO into a nude. That was weird. I didn't object to it. It was just kind of what? Is that how oods are born?
That transformation is probably the grossest moment I've ever seen on Doctor.
It's so disgusting. I love it.
There's a lot of gross moments, but this one is just like, I can't.
Yeah. Try taking the pictures.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean I have the Gadget gave me some of the pictures of the transformation. I didn't bring them any of those. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Let's just say it involves. Let's just say it involves like some women would understand when they're having a child.
I did certainly appreciate the part of the transformation where he just kind of hiccuped up his brain.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it gets weird too, because for a brief moment, there's that scene where where Donna says, "I'm sorry, I don't remember the dialogue." Something to the fact that she, with him, I don't understand what's right and wrong, and he says to the fact that it's probably best you didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of like, what do we, you're actually kind of turning this guy into an ood, and we're just letting it happen. So yeah,
And I appreciate that the Ood's response to this was, he's one of us now.
yeah,
We will take care of him. Knowing that you can't, you can go from the top to the bottom very quickly in life, and the safety net's there for you too. And that's something that, again, in the real world, a lot of people don't get. I think this was one of the more social justice-y episodes that we've gotten of Doctor Who. It was not as in your face as some of them, which I like, but it was. There's no sugarcoating that this is about slavery, that this is about capitalism exploiting workers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. It was a really interesting episode. For the record, I gave it I came into this giving it an 8. I think I'm actually going to give it an 8.5.
Woohoo!
Because I really did enjoy it. It was just it was a compelling episode. Could they have gone to a two-parter? Maybe. I'm not sure that it would have improved it or gotten bogged down if they had gone to 2 episodes. Did it wrap up a little bit quickly? Certainly. It's not a perfect episode by any stretch, but it is a really good episode. I watched mine on my computer, so the effects held up in lower res. In lower definition, the effects look fine, better than average, in fact. If I was watching this on a high def big screen TV, maybe it would have looked a little worse. But I had no objection to the effects. This scene was crazy with the rabid, chained up rabid Ood, and they just okay, well, we're just going to execute him. Spoiler: they just execute that guy.
yes.
And so someone in the comments pointed out there's a lot more gunplay in this episode. Yeah, there it is. I knew I saw the comment. A lot more gun violence in this one than there is in most stories. Even in like the Dalek stories against the military, they aren't shooting as many things, and it's less effective. This is, this is killing living beings. There's no sugarcoating it in this one. There's no armor. There's no, mobile tank suit protecting the squishy little goblin inside. These are people. These are, sentient beings who deserve more than what they got. And I'm really appreciated the end, how they did get, they got their freedom. They got to move on. I'd have to go back. Yeah, Gadget puts out in the comments there that Planet of the Ood was 41-26 and the Impossible Planet's 42-21. So
it is it is a prequel.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it would make sense. Doctor
because during one. Okay, because I know one of the drafts was that they were going to think about having Ida Scott on this one, and therefore it being a sequel.
This actually came from the Doctor Who pages.
Right.
So if that's the case, that little surgeons didn't work because they end up going to the Impossible Planet. What?
Well, think about it too, because you got to remember they're already. Think about it. If they sent them at 41-26 already in space as the helpers, remember they're all buying them up and everything and stuff. So they're in space. Remember, it's time. It's black holes. It's whatever. We don't know what time. You know what I mean and stuff. And the Doctor never is in a fixed point. I always say the Doctor's out of order from what we're watching.
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So it makes sense, because if I was like watching, I was like, wait, I've seen these symbols before. I've seen this, I've seen that. Wait, the red eyes. And I'm like, wait, when did the red eyes start on the ship? And I'm like, was it the devil? Was it not the devil? Or did it transfer back? We don't know, because when did the red eyes start? You know, if you look at that, they had red eyes on Impossible Planet and stuff. So we don't really know. Was it from there, or was it from this?
I always thought that was a natural thing with the ood as they kept growing it. That was a thing with the ood when they would get angry, or if it was kind of like red alert for a better term. Something bad.
But they did forget what they did. Remember when she was on the lunch line and when it was Rose, and when that happened, dude said this or this, and it's like they don't remember when they go red.
Right, but remember that was the influence of the devil. So,
but then in this one, how do you explain them going red?
I'm saying this was a natural occurrence. When something is wrong with the ood, this is their way of saying it, because when the creature tried to attack Donna, he went red for a few moments and then he died. So I think this is just, for me, I don't know. I have never seen an explanation to this, but I always assume that, especially when we go into the future a little bit at the end of his run, when we see the ood again, they go red and they're in control of themselves. So I always thought that this was a natural instinct on them to say, yeah, this is the bat signal. Some bad's happening.
So then it might have not been connected to the devil. It might have been just like you said, their own internal clock or internal.
Well, I think in that particular episode they were connected to the devil. It was just that their internal clock was kicking in because he was influencing them.
Yeah,
I think for Red Alert, it's probably a mixture of like psychic and something bad. So like when the devil was in Impossible Planet and Satan's Pit, it was because of the psychic energy of the devil, which is probably making them turn red. While in the Planet of the Ood, it was the actual hive brain, which was making it. Because remember, it was like triple hive minds. So you've got the big brain, their brain, and the brain in the hand, and so it's probably more of a psychic field. Because remember, the guy lowered the psychic field or the barrier down.
Yeah.
So anytime a psychic thing happens, I think that's when we go red alert.
That makes sense. Then the devil makes sense, and the end of time makes sense.
Yeah,
because it's through a psychic web. Because remember, I don't want to get into that episode yet, but man, like something happened with the ood that they were speeding up things. So already they were being influenced again
by something psychic.
Yeah. So we got a few more comments that we've been stacking up here from the audience and some ratings and stuff.
Yep. Dan Hollyfield says, I give it a 5. Was almost perfect. So he's up there with you, Melanie. Get it. Raj says it's almost a human who turned into an ood in the end, and it truly deserved it. Yep.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh, I think everybody agrees on this panel.
Yeah.
Isn't the planet taken back by the ood toward the end of David's run? Yes. Yeah. Because there's an episode that we're not going to talk about because there's a spoiler thing. And just in case nobody has seen this episode as of yet.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Probably.
Everyone's just holding out and waiting for us.
Exactly. Dave, was there anything else you wanted to bring up?
No. Those are my thoughts.
Okay.
Do we have conventions coming up?
We do have conventions coming up, but first I wanted to show a gadget made.
Yeah.
Would you like tea?
I think that's
This dude serves coffee.
I figured it would work with if we have to put it on the table when we're at conventions or anything and stuff, because that was just too funny. It was in the episode, like, we're going to serve you. So I figured, why not try that?
It's been beautiful. I'm going to make pictures of that. And speaking of pictures, we want to give a big shout out to Melanie for bringing this one up. And that river, like I said,
I'm wondering if that's number 40. I'm wondering if that's number 40 because I was reading out the numbers and I'm hoping if it is number 40, remember that number so you can pre-order it because I think these pre-orders are going to go crazy. They dropped the 28th of August.
I'm getting a river song, but the first two, I meant, don't we have a 9?
It's the relaunch. They redid it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're basically the kind of relaunch. They're redoing a 9. I actually have 9 there. I have another 10 there. The one that I'm absolutely getting shooty. That one, I need my 15th Doctor.
Mel, out of
Yeah.
the 10th Doctors, which one do you like? Because I like the one where he's coming out of the TARDIS.
I actually like the regeneration because I have a tendency of liking Funko Pops that have more fun with the eyebrows, that's giving more of an expression.
Oh, okay.
And he literally is doing the I don't want to go. I'm like, yeah, I would like that.
Christian, can you go back to the previous photo? I'm just
Which one?
wondering, the one with the Ood, the one with Gadget made, which was awesome. Okay, he's holding a cup. When are you going to produce that for the coffee shop of horrors so they can have their coffee in a nice?
I was looking into teacups for them, but they're expensive.
Okay, is that a teacup or a coffee mug?
You can make it both. Because the one I was looking at
It's whatever
was
beverage wants it. If there's Coca-Cola, it's a Coca-Cola. It's whatever beverage I shove
because
in
they
there.
told me I could just get the saucer with the symbol on it, or I could do both with the set and just have the cup. But a lot of places are very expensive when you want to make them.
Yeah, but that would be cool because you can have like your stacks of cups of coffee next to your coffee stand as well on your stand, so you can have like, yeah, do you want to taste a bit of coffee? Here you go.
And they get to take a mug home
It's
too.
not, I'm just to say this. I'm not saying this out of spite or anything. I'm just letting people know that when it comes to the coffee, everybody's going, "Can we get a sample?" I said, "I'm not Coffee Shop of Horrors," and I actually, Melanie, I talked to the people of Coffee Shop of Horrors. They said, "You don't want any of that nonsense." It's
Yeah.
like because right now, and I can just privy to this, they're not going to go to MegaCon because at least for right now, Melanie, they said that it was just a pain in the butt. They did make money over hand over fist, but everything that led up to that moment was not worth it. They said that they would need an entire week to recover from what they had to do, and it
Well,
was
it's because they would always
last
sell
minute.
out.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they were always up at like 3 a.m. making all the coffee, putting it all together. Then they had to ship it out. Then they had to get there. Then they had to put up the booth, and it said it's not really worth it at this moment. So
Well, I almost had you a second coffee company and everything because they were very interested, but I don't know how you would take to animate coffee.
tastes not turning Japanese.
No, the covers
Anyway.
you might like the covers.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of which, conventions, Mark, you're going to start me off with this one because I have no idea what's going on.
Whoa, that's cool.
Okay, so this is Innovation Culture. We do it every year. The idea of it is basically they convert the whole town into like a Comic Con, but if you take photographs or if you do anything like that, it's all about donations. It's to raise charity. It's to raise money for 2 local hospice.
Oh, you did tell me about this. Okay, I do know this.
Yeah, and we had Clemso on here, and if you watch the episode, you'll see a little bit of the trailers. Clemso is going to be back this year as well with a couple of other people. I think that is just going to double check it 2 seconds because he's another Doctor Who star as well, going to be there, and also a Star Wars star. Just getting the names up. So we've got Clemso, and we've got Ross Mullen,
Hey,
which is Game of Thrones
Game of
and
Thrones White Walker. He was
The Silence
Silence. There you go.
and Batella. And for the Star Wars fans, we've got Ross Sandbridge, who was Smoke.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's
I
not
know
bad.
this name.
So, yep, I will be there in cosplay as well, hopefully with Doctor Who. So if you are around in Essex, Colchester, 5th of September, which is 2 weeks away, come down, enjoy the event. And it's not just like Doctor Who, there's every single fandom you can think of. There's Disney princesses in one corner, Star Wars, cars from movies, Transformers, Jurassic Park, Game of Thrones, Doctor Who. I think they did a bit of a Gremlins show one year. So there's loads of things. And you go out, you do your shopping, and our Masters of the Universe as well. Cheers, Tom. And so it's literally there. So if you do take photographs with people, we would ask to donate charity, put money in the charity to take photographs. So it's just raising money for the local 2 hospice.
That's
So
awesome.
make sure when you come out over there, just have a little spare change for the folks who definitely need it this time of year. This time of year, but you know what I'm saying. Definitely need it out there. So we're getting close to the holidays. I mean, this weekend, Halloween Horror Nights is already starting over at Universal Studios, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Disney's
Yep.
The Magic Kingdom is already kicking up with Mickey. So I
Mhm.
already started Halloween July 5th. That was my deal. So
And in the UK, the schools go back roughly that week as well.
there you go. And speaking of which, going back, we are going to go back to St. Augustine, Florida for uh, Ancient City Con. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to drop that banner so we can see it better. Seriously, go away. It's not going away. Are you serious? There we go.
Not me.
Well, no, I didn't say.
I'm just saying.
So,
My hands are off.
but you're going to see myself, you're going to see Melanie, you're going to see the TARDIS, and you're going to see the Daleks of Florida. All of them are going to be there on that weekend, September 25th through the 27th, at the World Golf Village Renaissance Resort. If you've never been to St. Augustine, put in a few more days on your vacation. You definitely want to check out downtown and everything and the historical landmarks that you'll see over there. The Pirates Museum, the name of the fort that's just eluding me at this moment for some
Castillo.
the Castillo,
San Marco.
Thank you. I'm
You're
not
welcome.
gonna. My brain's not. Told you. All the bread and breakfasts. You got to see
St. George Street.
Melanie. I love the hippo. I love the hippo.
Oh,
the naturally made
the ice
popsicles.
pops.
Yes. But there is so much stuff going on.
See, I'm a
down there.
Kilwins person. Give me the ice creams.
Oh, I got you. Nothing wrong with it. Mark, talk to us about this one.
Right. This is Gallifrey Gathering. It's a new Doctor Who convention. I think it's at what house is it? I've forgotten now. It's in Telford, I think. This is basically one of our former panelists who used to be on our show called Jessamine, who's recently just got married. Her and her husband are now running the very first Doctor Who gathering, which is going to be in England. I can't see the address. I'll see if I can blow it up a little bit.
The 100 House.
The 100 House. I also had it on Small here, which is in Shropshire. The postcode's on there. You can get tickets from at parallelworldevents.com. There'll be guest panels, autographs, photo opportunity, and merchandise. But it is limited to only 150 tickets. So if you want to go, be booked. It's going to be a small event, which may be good, but it's going to be quite good just to get to see Joe Martin, Sylvester McCoy, Katie Manning. But Katie Manning's lovely. Sylvester McCoy's amazing. I haven't met her.
I'm getting tired that she's not even in our state. She pops up New York, California. I'm just like, get her a
Yeah. She spends more time in the US than she does in the UK.
That's fine by me, as long as she hits Florida at some point or another. Well, guys, I guess we can release the good news about next week's episode, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But you guys are going to have to get up really early in the morning.
We're
going to be welcoming Mark Strickson Turlo from the Fifth Doctor series. We're going to be interviewing him next Tuesday. Please keep in mind and keep an eye out on our social media because it's going to be a really, really, really early interview. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 3 a.m. our time. If I'm
3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8
I'm up.
p.m.
Oh no, 4:30 in the morning.
4:30?
4:30 in the morning. Yep.
4:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I think it's 8:30 in the morning if you are in Auckland, so New Zealand Standard Time.
So that's
9:30 if
5
you're in
hours.
the UK. So a.m. So worthy. We're definitely going to have Mark Strickson on in there. Mark Strickson on, and if you have any questions, we get to your comments. This is going to be the episode that you want to get into. I rarely see him on podcasts, so this is going to be an interesting and a fun one. I love this.
So mark your calendars if you want to be in on the live. It's going to be early.
Because I have a question to ask him because of who he acted with in that car. because when I knew that voice, and that's my favorite character from something.
Tom said it best.
Yeah.
I'll pop in and say hi and then go back to bed.
If it's 9:30, I'll be at work. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it'll be 9:30 for you.
And I am up because of other reasons.
gotcha. Without further ado, thank you again so much, Dave. You want to wrap us up? Did you have anything further that you want to bring up before we let you go? Before we let everybody go?
No, I'm good. Tune into all of everybody's channels. Great stuff coming up all over the place, and we'll see you bright and disgustingly early in the morning next week.
Yep.
Don't
I
forget to
got
check
this.
out Horses on Film, the rathole.ca, and Happiness Patrol, and Instagram at Pieces of Melee. Wait, I got it's going in the right
Go your
direction.
other way. Go the other way.
Go the other way? Okay, it's not working.
Your StreamYard's mirrored. Yes, now
Okay.
you're facing the correct way. You're
Okay.
facing me.
So, Pieces of Melee, and on the Instagram, and Happiness Patrol, and Horses on Film, and the rathole.ca. Well, if this is mirrored, then this has got to be Gadget.
Yep.
Yep.
Gadget vlogs,
I'm just gonna blow up your
Gadget,
screen.
Pendragon After Dark.
Show the books, lady. Show the
And
books.
those are the books on Lulu.com. Remember, pick them up and everything and stuff. Also, Gadget Pendragon After Dark, Gadget Pendragon, or Gadget Vlogs, however you want to put it, because we're fixing that channel. And I will be at New York Comic Con and everything. So,
Yay.
guys, yep, it's basically, but I think they screwed up on the badges because a lot of people saw it and said VIP and 4-Day have the same picture. So, let's see how this one goes and everything. But otherwise, take it to Candyman and see where he's going to be at.
Yes, sir. There we go, Candyman.
I'm at my Cyborg T100_cosplay where I post all my cosplays stuff on it, and you can catch me at Invasion Culture Stay in 2 weeks' time.
Everybody, give some good news and hugs around applause. Thank you for joining us this week. Next week will be Mark Strickson. Just keep an eye out on your social media to know exactly what times that he will be on, but I can tell you right now, for the most part, it's going to be early in the morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget Coffee Shop of Horrors. We will be over. Oh, by the way, one more convention. We will be announcing it. I can safely say it. Makers Fair in November with the Daleks of Florida. We can announce that now, and just keep an eye out again on our social media for more information. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate that. Don't forget to say goodnight. He's on this side, right?
Yes.
Got it. You got it.
So why am I backwards? Everybody, you're right. Nobody's right. Okay.
Your setting in StreamYard, you've clicked mirror. You have to
Oh,
unclick
fine.
mirror.
Fine.
Yeah, but then
Without
then
further ado, go ahead.
then the traveling TARDIS logo will be backwards.
Yes, that's fine. I don't
That's
care.
fine.
as long as I'm right. Anyway, thank you for joining us, everybody. Say goodnight to Simon on the way out the door, and don't forget, until the next adventure, Tony, take us out. I'm correct.